Alright, looks like the recording's going, which is good. Okay, good. Snowblower was useful, yes, but even then... So how much snow did you end up getting? I mean, I know that you live 3 to 5 inches, but the winds drifted into huge dunes. Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Superintendent Cash reminds everyone all power grid adjustments must be approved beforehand.
In that case. Unknown, thank you for the resub. I appreciate that. Another 50-month. Damn. Damn. Gentlemen, like, what the hell? I decided to do, I'm just eating a point by calling off. Not going to deal with this until, and stupid people. So Matrix, one of the things that a hype train is close. Sub, gift, or use bits to start a hype train. Just saying. What was it? Tell them you've got symptoms. Tell them that you're starting to not feel good. That way they can't sit there and fault you. Or are they looking for like a doctor's note and a positive test? Like, because you don't want to sit there and necessarily lose the job or move you towards that. But realistically, you need to be kind of smart about, you know, everything. But Unknown, thank you for the resub. I appreciate that. How is everything?
Scientists have few answers as the dark energy anomaly known as the Scourge limits travel.
Like how was the stream? I saw that you were playing Final Fantasy tonight. So how was that going? This is not where I wanted to go. Maybe it is. I speak the truth lots of times. I'll thank you very much.
It's you, Pathfinder. I have a word or two for you.
Is there a problem?
Your father is my problem. He's everyone's problem. We're all paying for Alec Ryder's ego. He preyed on Jean Garson's trusting nature and bulldozed us to this godforsaken place. Now she's dead, and we'll all soon follow.
Yeah, and my dad's dead too, thank you very much.
Hey, my dad died for this dream. He was trying to fix things for all of us.
Some dream. He fixed us all right. Go to hell, Pathfinder.
Alright, fine. You first. Why are we doing this? Why is it being stupid? Cleared the fight? Awesome.
Pathfinder?
Alright, I guess I got
Have
nothing
to
for
go
you.
now. See you later.
Later.
Alright, Sam, anything for us?
Welcome back, Scott.
Okay, guess nothing.
That's all for now.
Of course.
Anything?
Your father's personal logs.
Oh, they're all encrypted. Okay, so nothing. Okay. 4 fights. We only beat the first one. There were a lot of mechanics happening. Yeah, that's the thing, is that, like, especially when you start getting into some of those things, like, it can get nasty pretty quickly.
Residents are still mourning a loss of Teen Garden.
They're strictly following CDC rules, which say, since I'm vaccinated and currently have no symptoms, I work. Well, that's my point. Could you just sit there and say, I've got a fever or something like that? That way they'd kind of be forced to keep you home.
You're listening
Join
to
the second fight on
HNS,
Saturday
your
night.
source for news in Helios, an independent arm of the Andromeda Initiative.
So unknown, just out of curiosity, what made you start streaming all of a sudden? Because you've been kind of out of the game for a little bit.
For a few more colonists, we'll be taking you over to the Nexus. You'll need to clear immigration. There was some kind of...
This is not good. Damned exiles.
They're calling it a scourge.
Wow, that doesn't sound scary.
Boy, Pathfinder, today has not been a good day.
Why's that?
A large shipment of medical supplies intended for Prodromos was intercepted by those damned exiles. Scouts confirmed they've divvied the supplies up among their own outposts.
We'll deal with it.
I'll see what I can do about reclaiming them.
That would be great. Thanks. Maybe when you come across them assholes, you can rectify all this.
That's just my stupid brain. Doctors said it was inoperable. I was too old. I'm sorry. I'm also surprised they cleared you for the voyage. They needed a chemical engineer, and I needed to see a new galaxy before I died. Told the initiative I'd get their water treatment working in exchange for a medical waiver.
A worker was lost to space during repairs of the Nexus hull.
A worker got spaced while working on the hull? That sucks. I had the urge to come back again, but time and mentally wasn't fully ready for it. Saturday has always been my go-to content, so I figured, why the hell not? Well, damn right, why the hell not? Knocked the fuck out a lot by the boss. I'm not missing anything here. Right, where is the cryo bay? I thought I was here. Oh, it's this way. Ha! Huh. One I have seen played the least, and I want to dig in someday. Yeah, it's like Mass Effect, and not all at the same time.
Harry, what's happening with Sarah?
Well, we got her out of the pod. I don't want to get your hopes up, but Sam managed to, find her, you might say.
I don't follow.
Well, she's still in a coma. But she also has an implant like yours, and Sam managed to access it. He's made contact.
That's incredible. She's okay?
Vitals are steady, but I'm letting Sam take the lead on this one.
Though in a coma, Sarah's mental processes remain intact.
So, is she okay?
You can ask her yourself. A moment while I establish a link with her implant. Proceed.
Sarah? Can you hear me?
Scott? Is that you? What's happening? Where am I?
There was a problem with your stasis pod. You're in a coma on the Hyperion. Do you understand?
I think so. Am I dreaming?
Sam linked into your implant, but they say you're stable. You're safe and sound in the medbay.
This is so weird. I hear you, but I can't feel anything. Where's Dad? Is he doing okay?
I don't know how to say this, but he's dead, Sarah.
What?
It was a freak accident.
But it's Dad. He can't die.
I know. It's been hard on everyone.
I didn't get to say goodbye.
No one did.
What about finding home? Dad kept telling me how beautiful it would be.
It
There's
didn't work
been
out
some
either.
complications. The Golden Worlds didn't exactly deliver.
But Dad said...
Sarah?
Am I dreaming? Where am I?
Sarah, I'm sorry.
Her pulse rate is increasing rapidly.
I need to go now.
That's enough. It's too stressful.
So,
Sarah,
still space and good space. Yeah, so it's much like how in the regular Mass Effect you could play male or female Shepard. In this one, you get to play either Sarah or Scott Ryder. And your dad is... oh god. I can't think of his name now. The guy that played... Oh god, I can't think of his name. The guy that played the Kurgan in Highlander. He was the guy that played... No, sorry, Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman is dad. Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman is dad. No, not Ron Perlman. It is the guy that was from... the guy that played the Kurgan from Highlander. I'm completely wrong. Yes, it is Clancy Brown. Clancy Brown, that was it. No, I was wrong. It's not him. It's Clancy Brown. I'm sorry, it's Clancy Brown. I was wrong. I was wrong.
Fallout from the recent uprising as security tightens across all sectors of the Nexus.
I think I'm gonna need a new mouse pad because this thing is getting pretty well beat to death.
Is HNS.
I've been sitting there watching or seeing on YouTube a lot of these, this is my ultimate desk setup, and I gotta tell you, they all start kind of looking the same after a while, But damn if people don't sit there and put some time and effort into really making a good home office space. I'm not going to do it here. But there are definitely some things that I would change and do differently. For sure. And I'm taking notes, and I'm adding it to a YouTube an Amazon wish list, the whole shebang.
Pathfinder, AVP leveling continues as per your directions. And of course, the interface remains accessible for any future adjustments. Sweet protocol and process. Now we're living.
I have a specific person I want brought out of cryo.
Name and designation if available.
That's it? You'll just do it?
Nowhere in my job description does it say, argue with the Pathfinder. That said, I record all interactions. If something you ask for causes trouble, there'll be no doubt that you're responsible.
I heard that the chief engineer on EOS went back into cryo.
There have been a few such requests. The first few months in Helios were disheartening.
Now the Prodromos is on track. I want her redeployed.
Chief Engineer Grace Lito, designation E97 Durango. Deployment will begin shortly. Is there anything else, Pathfinder?
I have a specific person I want brought out of cryo.
Okay.
Name and designation if available.
Let's keep this between us. Here's the info.
Deployment will begin shortly. Is there anything else, Pathfinder?
Where do these
Why do some
designations come from?
colonists have a number letter designation?
All initiative members do. In the CV file somewhere, anyway. It isn't relevant when everyone is doing everything. I suppose it's like caring about a middle name. Do you not know yours?
No, tell me.
I wasn't aware I had one.
You were in select company, even before you were made Pathfinder. Scott Ryder Pathfinder. Specialist designation, A04 Malapa.
Something interesting?
Interesting.
An A and low odds. Someone's an early adopter.
My dad was in
Another
charge
time.
of everything.
Pathfinder.
So, anyway. If you're really curious, Linux, I will show you, or I'll send you some of the ones that I was looking at. Like, some folks, like, they use a lot of the same... Like, they're starting to use a lot of the same stuff. Let's see. There we go. But man, like, they're just... Like, some of them are just really well designed and everything. So, I think, like I said, I think next Office, like Office 2.0, is definitely going to have... Is going to be different. It's definitely going to be different, I'm hoping.
Tissue and DNA donations. See a medic if you think you may be eligible.
Some background lighting additions and stuff. I've got that, and I will send them over to you. There's been I saw a whole mess of stuff on that today.
Sure. Let me know what materials you need and I'll find you something.
Arms merchant? Oh, thank you. See. Those are my items. I don't need
That's
that.
a relief. Thanks for helping out. I owe you one.
Armor merchant. Sweet. Okay, cool. But yeah, I found a whole mess of stuff like that today in some of the videos and everything. Looks like we've got a bar.
That's your flag, everyone. That's Prodromos. Things are shaping up, Pathfinder. Resources flowing in, sleepers ready to head out. It's starting to feel like the initiative. Not quite up to the sales pitch, but getting there. Feels good, right?
Feels like we've been lucky.
We came too close to not making it. I fear relief, but I wouldn't say good.
Yeah, that's under there. Could have gone real bad. But it didn't. And that was you. And me. Maybe some others. We're digging in. We got this.
Hey, I was wondering if you could help me out. It's for the good of the bar.
Sure, for the good of the bar. Do I get anything out of it?
Lay it on me.
So, folks try and help and all, but we have a limited pool of ingredients. Keep an eye out for anything interesting we could use for new drinks, and we'll let you test them for free.
Right. I get a feeling the testing will be interesting.
Don't worry. Dutch may complain a lot, but he's loving it. And he's the best chemist I know. You're in good hands.
Okay, we can do that. Let's sit there and take another gander around here. So how's everybody's work week going? I mean, it's Tuesday, isn't it? Yeah, it's Tuesday. You know, how's everybody's week going? Like, it's definitely already kind of shaping up to be a whole lot of stuff going on.
Just when I've balanced the air mix, another Yahoo has to come wandering through. Aren't you the Pathfinder? Dr. Camden, head of hydroponic sciences. Mind the seedlings.
Are you always this rude to people walking in?
Only when a mistake could kill everyone on the Nexus.
What do you mean?
Hydroponics is our air, food, and water. A frail green line between us and oblivion. We almost lost it all during the mutiny. Now it's my responsibility.
I know what surprise responsibility can be like.
So I hear. Perhaps we could share our burdens. I need samples of Andromeda's plant life. Our own specimens should acclimatize to them. Bring me any plants you find. You'll have a bounty in return, and my thanks.
I can do that. See, this is the point where we get to sit there and pick up all the quests. What's up here? Shapiro, what are you doing?
What's the trouble?
I've got power shortages throughout the station. I can't for the life of me find the cause. Oh, whoa, you're the Pathfinder. Hey, sorry, please ignore me. You've got way more important things to do.
No, I'm happy to help.
Power to the Nexus is pretty important. I'm happy to help.
That's great, because I'm at a loss. There are obvious short circuits cropping up all over the place. A Pathfinder's eye might reveal something.
There's a power short here. We could scan the area.
These power outages make no sense.
Change this. Thank you for putting stuff up here so that I can scan it all. I appreciate that. Tech lab, huh?
Wouldn't it be more practical to build these vaults from the surface?
Nah, Rachni engineers mastered underground construction a millennium ago. These remnant fellows probably had the same idea. Wouldn't mind a seismometer reading, though. Sam, any chance?
Seismometer, huh? Doctor?
Hello, Pathfinder. A moment?
What can I do for you, Doctor?
I have a math problem. Some vital equations that only a mind like Sam's could solve. They concern strange
gonna be black
transmission
this week.
patterns in the Scourge. Perhaps random noise, perhaps not.
Sam likes new experiences. It'll be an opportunity to encounter math homework.
Given the complexity and the security implications, I recommend transferring the equations directly into SAM node. I have them on an optical storage disk for you.
I'll see if I have time.
Thank you, Pathfinder. Please thank Sam as well.
Hey, I can do that. Alright, we don't need to research anything. Cultural exchange area.
I'm Gian Garson, founder of the initiative. On behalf of the Nexus, I welcome you to the Cultural Center. Please have a look around. We hope you'll enjoy learning about the rich diversity of people who have arrived from the Milky Way galaxy.
Another power short.
Welcome to the Cultural Exchange Center. Please have a look around. We're just getting things up and running.
I'm Gian Garson, founder of the initiative. On
You
behalf
let
of
me
the
talk to
Nexus,
you, damn it.
I welcome you to the Cultural Center.
Pathfinder,
There we go.
I'm glad you could stop by. Pardon the dust while we set everything up.
We hope you'll enjoy learning about the rich diversity of people.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a bunch of, like, this week is okay. I think tomorrow is going to be pretty light. But we're starting to get into review season. So they do it twice a year, and I wasn't able to do the last one. I am able to do this one. So you have to do a little bit of, like, self-reflection, which kind of sucks. Because I hate that part of reviews, but hey, whatever.
Have you heard anything about the Ket?
Unfortunately, yes. Now, that's a species we won't be inviting here anytime soon. I'd hoped our encounters would be peaceful, but I suppose that was too much to ask.
What is this place?
What goes on here?
The Cultural Center is a place where new races we've met can visit and exchange ideas. They can learn more about the Milky Way species, while we foster an air of cooperation and understanding. We're just getting everything ready. Hopefully it won't be long before we have our first visitors.
And tell me about yourself. Who are you?
How did you get this job?
I was a sociologist in the Milky Way. While there were plenty of cultures to study, the books on them had all been written. There was nothing new I could add. So when I heard about the initiative, I signed up right away. The idea of meeting new people, seeing how they've evolved, adapted to life's challenges, I couldn't resist.
So let's see some of the interesting stuff that's been going on.
And when you have a second, check back with me on a favor I'd like to ask.
Why do I have to check back with you? Couldn't you just ask right now?
Pathfinder, do you have a moment? We, need to explain you.
Explain me?
Our new VI over there is meant to describe the role of our Pathfinders, but it just lost all its settings in a crash. If you could fix them, that would really help us out. Just talk to the VI, and it'll do the rest.
Okay, I can do that.
Thanks.
So let's see.
Of course.
So some of the stuff that's going on. So we're having our big company kickoff next week. Now, Linux, I told you about this. We need to be, I'm going to say we need to be a little quiet about it, but we're having a special musical guest for for the company kickoff, which is awesome. Put it this way, it was the drummer from Nirvana and the front man for the Foo Fighters. So that's going to be really cool.
You are looking at an image of the Milky Way, the original system of the colonists now arriving in Andromeda. Home to countless life forms, the Milky Way is a galaxy where friendship and peace are held in the highest regard. Those arriving in Andromeda bring with them this spirit of enlightenment. They look forward to making your acquaintance.
So my youngest had to go get a couple cavities filled. I mean, he's 9, whatever, and has been. It's after 4 a.m. I'm gonna go pass out. Unknown, thank you for coming and hanging out. I do appreciate it. Go get some sleep. Thank you for the resub. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your evening. What was it? So he had to go get he had to get a cavity or 2 filled today. And he's been just like completely psyching himself out. He's just been like, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. Freaked out there. Like, I legit had to push him into the doctor's office. The thing that he was most freaked out about was the Novocaine shot. And we were just like, they numb the inside of it, they sit there, and then they shoot you, and then you're fine. So the dentist just kind of came over, and they gave him some of the nitrous, and that kind of mellowed him out a little bit. And they said, and he goes, I still don't want the shot, I still don't want the shot. So he sat there, and the doc goes, you want to try this without? And he goes, okay. 2 drill and fills, no Novocaine, nothing. Just went for it. Oh, like, motherfucker, really? Like, for real.
Hello there, neighbor. I'm Gian Garson, the founder of the Andromeda Initiative.
Like,
I thought
all
you
of
might like
that,
to hear
like,
more about our plans.
garment rending, teeth gnashing, wailing, and all this other stuff, like, all of that, and it was nothing for you.
Okay.
Great. If you're seeing this, it means our Pathfinders have done their job and made new friends in the galaxy. Welcome to the Nexus. But I want to put your mind at ease. Seeing our arcs arrive in your neighborhood probably raised some concerns. I'm happy to address them.
Why did you leave the Milky Way?
I get that question a lot. Many of us have a deep curiosity that needs to know what else is out there. Our own Milky Way is just one tiny speck in a universe full of mysteries. And speaking for myself, the thought of exploring those mysteries in Andromeda was a call to adventure I could not resist.
Uh-huh. So what are your intentions here?
What are you planning to do in this galaxy?
Great question. I'd be worried about that too. I can assure you, we have no hostile intentions whatsoever. We're pilgrims who simply want to live in peace. We're eager to learn about new cultures, new ideas, and share our own with you. But we understand trust needs to be earned, no matter what galaxy you're in. And the initiative looks forward to doing just that. Thank you for taking the time to listen. On behalf of my fellow Milky Way travelers, we couldn't be more excited about what the future holds for all of us.
I'm Gian Garson, founder of the initiative. On behalf of the Nexus, I welcome you to the Cultural Center. Please have a look around.
Hello again.
Thanks.
Of
We
course.
hope you'll enjoy learning about the rich diversity of people who have arrived from the Milky Way galaxy.
Oh, this was the thing they wanted us to talk to.
Welcome to the setup for your Pathfinder Informational VI. I am programmed with all relevant data. However, you must identify which information I should prioritize. First, select your preferred voice and appearance, male or female.
Male, please.
Variable set. which aspect of the Pathfinder's role should be highlighted? Exploration and discovery, or first contact with new species?
Let's go with exploration and discovery.
Variable set. Next, should I emphasize the role of the Pathfinder team or their partner AI?
Go with the Pathfinder's team.
Yeah.
Set. Finally, should I provide career advice for future Pathfinders or an honor of former Pathfinders?
List the former Pathfinders.
Setup complete. Would you like to keep these settings?
Yes, please.
It all sounds good to me.
Thank you for choosing this Pathfinder information VI. Implementing changes.
They've leveled up.
Hello. This display describes our Pathfinders, the Initiative's elite explorers.
Maybe later.
Enjoy your day.
Okay, cool. All right, enough dickering around. Let's go get on the ship and let's go shoot some things. Docking area, what is this over here? Anything good? Ignatius, who are you? Yeah.
Hi. Gil Brody is your engineer.
No way, what?
That's right.
I'm Bailey. I used to work with him in the hangars here. You wouldn't happen to know if he's available, would you?
I wouldn't know.
Right. Okay, sorry to bother you. Just, tell him I said hi, huh?
Should I apply for an outpost? In order to expedite your entry, you must already have obtained
Petra?
Keeping tabs on things back here?
Yeah, I try to watch what's going on while we're away, but it's nice to check in person.
And is everything okay?
Going well, I hope.
As well as it can go with limited resources, yeah. Tiny steps.
Watch your tone. You saw what happened to the Krogan.
But we need this equipment.
What's the problem here?
Your incompetence isn't my problem. Just do your job.
What do you want?
Sounds like you're having a rough day.
Coming to
You
help.
saw that, huh? Oh, I'm sorry I snapped at you. The way Spender treats me? Everyone, I'm so angry. I don't understand how he's in any position of authority.
I haven't heard much good about that guy.
Whatever you've heard, it's not half as bad as the reality. Just last week, he tried to redirect some of the supplies we need to keep the stasis pods going.
Why?
I have no idea.
Oh, yeah,
But if
he
Kesh
did.
hadn't stepped in and threatened to airlock him, it would have been a disaster. He's always like that. Making bad decisions, driving the Krogan away, treating people like scum when no one's watching.
How can I help?
Maybe there's something I can do?
A man like that's bound to have some dirt. I wish Tan and Addison could see it. Things have gotten so bad that Kesh had to literally kick him out of engineering.
How literal are we talking here?
Boot to ass. Oh, it was glorious. We need him gone, but as incompetent as Spender is at his job, he's insanely good at keeping it. Kesh can tell you more.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Okay. Yes, we're going to return to the Tempest. I mean, at one point back when I was like 20-something, I had to do the same. I had to do something, and they're like, they started working, and it was just like, we're like, you don't need to, like, I'm not feeling anything. It doesn't hurt. It's not like it was a bad tooth or anything. It just worked. And they were like, okay, well, we'll work on it. And they worked on it. It's like, no problem. And the funny shit was, is he sits there and he goes. The funny thing was, is that afterwards, he goes, it wasn't nearly as bad. I was like, you son of a bitch, really? Alt. Being here. The boss, damn right. Boss, I'm sorry about your dad. Rogan virility. Okay, no, we don't need to go into anything like that. Okay. You needed to talk?
Scans of the Scourge. All that dark energy twisting and turning on itself. It's splendid.
It's dangerous. And that's all I see. A mass of destructive, malevolent tentacles.
I can appreciate the colors of a coral snake while recognizing that I wouldn't want to get close. Helios is incredible, isn't it? Not just constructs like the Scourge and the Remnant Vaults. Just all of it. So alien. A constant reminder of the divine intelligence behind all creation.
Are you thinking God did this?
You mean a god?
Yes, I believe in a higher power. I know it's a little odd, but I am a scientist because science brings me closer to something greater than myself.
There's something about coming face to face with something wondrous that makes you want to believe.
Wow. It's wonderful to meet someone who understands. I've had to justify myself so often, as if having faith in the divine invalidated my work as a scientist. As if this sacred could be diminished by the search for truth.
You don't have to justify it.
I wasn't questioning your abilities. You never have to justify yourself to me.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that, truly. Now I should probably update the rest of the team with my latest reports. We'll talk later.
Sure. Alright, we're going to a new place. We've been through here. Let's see what this is. It's nice, at least here, you don't have the Reapers chasing you if you sit there and work too much.
The surveyors could get before, well...
Let's see what's waiting here. I'm picking up something. Probe away. Tracking a huge mineral deposit.
Are we now a mineral deposit? Reaper chasing is only really in 3, right? Yes, correct. We will take the aluminum, thank you. Let's do a little bit of exploring. Really flying along, shooting probes and exploring. Yes. Yes, absolutely. That is exactly the problem. When you sit there and like all of a sudden you hear that sound just comes alive and you're like, oh fuck, here they go. There's a black hole we're gonna go explore. Hell yeah. Find anything? No. Realistically, are we not going to find anything here? Feck. I guess we have to go to this specific place. Oh well. So Linux, how did the workout stream go tonight? I was not able to attend. Any problems with kind of following chat? Any problems with audio or anything
We're
like
on a
that?
collision course with unknown objects.
Make corrections. Sam, are you on this?
Collision is imminent.
All stop, now!
Ruh-roh.
Cat ships, a dozen. No, more.
They've got us pinned against the Scourge.
They are scanning us, Pathfinder.
Well, scan them back.
Where is the one who activated the remnant?
You can talk.
Their DNA signature is there. Answer me.
You're the one in my way. Who are you?
They've lost navigation.
We're being steered into their ship.
Just tell me what you want.
I won't explain what you can't understand.
Ryder, I have almost regained control of the ship. I need a few more seconds.
I actually know a lot about the Remnant. We should compare notes.
Enough. Your defiance is naive and reckless. This day marks the beginning of your greatness.
Uh-huh.
Sam?
I have plotted a potential course through the Scourge.
Do it!
Bye, bitches. We out.
Report.
Enemy destroyed. Damage to aft sensors.
Scourge got it?
Yes.
Get us out of here.
It will be tight.
Callow?
Yes!
Nice work, kid.
Yeah. But who the hell was that guy?
Ryder, we've got trouble down here. You need to find us a port now.
Great. Where'd we end up anyway?
Sensors are damaged, but I think we're at the vault's coordinates.
You think? Gil, give it what you can. We're setting down.
Okay. Well, that was in... No, not Normandy.
We have to land. Open a comm.
Tov Jagalesto. Tov Jagalesto.
We're visitors from another galaxy. Our intentions are peaceful.
Pav Naleseto. They've sent us
Huh?
a nav point.
Set us down.
Yes. Completely different ship.
Yes. Ha, look at that. It's beautiful.
This ship is called the Tempest.
We
So-
need in that vault.
Please, you're not really going out there on your own.
We can't afford a repeat of last time. I'm the Pathfinder. First contact is on me.
Most important thing ever. No pressure.
This is what it's all about, right? New worlds? New aliens? Wish me luck.
So I'll fill you in just a second.
Thank you.
I'm Paran Shai, Governor of Aya. We are the Angara.
Hello. I'm a Pathfinder with the Initiative.
Yes, you crossed dark space. I've heard of your journey, Joel. I have this in hand.
Ephra saw the ship come in and sent me to find out what's going on.
He's a human from another galaxy. A Pathfinder.
Aya is hidden, protected. What do you want?
So, just to kind of give you a little bit of background on this. Before the Reapers attacked, though not too long before the Reapers attacked, each of the council, the major council worlds put together what they call the Ark. And it was the ship of their own, their own people that were in cryogenic stasis. And they sent them through dark space from one galaxy to another. The journey took roughly 600 years. So we are well past everything that happened in Mass Effect. So there are a couple of references to the Reapers. There are a couple of references to some of the original Mass Effect folks. But realistically, we are well beyond the time frame of Mass Effect 3. But they don't entirely know everything that happened because of the Reapers.
I apologize. Landing here the way we did, without warning, on fire, was not the plan.
That's good to know. Because if it was, that would be a very bad plan. I'll inform Ephra. He'll be waiting for you in his office at the Resistance headquarters. I'll meet you there.
I will accompany you through our city. Your crew will stay on your ship. Follow me. Follow closely. Do not try to explore the city or interact with anyone. Ephra's guards will use force if necessary.
Understood. Is it okay to ask you questions?
I suppose.
If you're the governor, why do I need to see this Ephra?
He's leader of the Resistance.
What's that?
They fight the Ket and protect us.
You don't like the Ket. Ket are no good.
What's happening?
Put that away.
It's just a scanner.
Put it away.
Never thought I'd see another alien.
Hey, they didn't like
I
that.
detect unusual levels of electrostatic energy in the Angara.
This is insane. It belongs in a containment cell.
Let Governor Shai handle this.
We don't know what to do.
Hey, they
Am I
really don't
that
like us.
intimidating?
You're an outsider who invaded our home. We know nothing about you.
I'm not here to cause trouble.
Then keep moving.
I'm moving.
Did it find us?
He, not it. And stop staring.
I'd love to study its physiology.
None of the local flora register in my data files. We've encountered an undiscovered ecosystem.
Your city is beautiful.
Thank you. You're the first outsider to see it.
I'm honored. What happens if Ephra doesn't like me?
He won't. But you need to earn his trust.
He's responsible for everyone's safety. I know what that's like.
Why is Piranha
You're a leader.
Trying to be.
This is the Resistance headquarters. Ephra is waiting inside.
Okay, then in we go.
They are bullies, but this situation is now your fault. Don't get kicked out, Moran, not because of them.
But you're telling me to be weak?
No. I am telling you to be strong through your cunning and heart. Okay?
Okay.
Hey.
It really is the best one in the Resistance.
I know.
Okay.
Our experience with the Ket makes us naturally distrustful of all aliens.
Oh, I understand the Ket were not nice to us either.
We've had our own run-ins with the Ket.
Then you really do understand. When the Archon came to Helios, he demolished our sovereign state. Took what he wanted, as if we were nothing. Now, the Ket mercilessly abduct Angara. Often, we never see our people again. Come this way. Ephra is waiting.
Wait, the Ket kidnap you? Steal your people?
And the Resistance fights them every day. With everything we can.
Is it attrition? What are they after?
You should save your questions for Ephra.
Kadara be damned. I won't lose Vold.
Ephra, this is one of the aliens from the Milky Way. A Pathfinder.
Milky Way.
Pathfinder. It's an aggressive move coming to Aya.
We didn't mean to.
It wasn't meant that way. I have an ark full of desperate people counting on me to find them a home before they starve.
Of course, I feel for you and your people. So, Pathfinder, never mind how you even found us. Why are you here?
On a hostile planet we call Eos, I explored an ancient structure, a vault, and brought it back online. It stabilized that planet's environment.
Remnant. Recent intelligence supports that claim.
If I'm right, there's a vault on Aya that's different. I need to look inside.
You're right. There's a vault out there, but it was shut years ago and the entrance hidden. We can't help you.
The Moshai could. She's our most revered scientist and elder. She knows this vault.
But now the Ket have her, and our rescue attempts failed. She's lost to us, and you.
Does it have to be her?
There must be another way. How can I convince you? Can I offer help?
Arrogant. I don't know you, let alone trust you. Why would I want your help?
Because I'm offering it?
Of course.
Ephra, I feel... Ephra, what this alien says is extraordinary. The Moshai would want us to be brave and not let this chance pass.
Joel, you talk too much.
Let me assess this, alien. I'll be your eyes. I know you can spare me.
Go if you want, but when he tries to kill you, be prepared to strike first.
I'm Jal Amaderov. I'll be your envoy through Angaran space.
Well, I'm grateful for your help.
Thank you for trusting me.
I don't trust you.
But I can always kill you in your sleep.
Good to know.
Great. He can kill us in our sleep. I like this guy already.
I've organized my analysis of Aya. Shall I relay it to the Nexus?
Definitely.
Trade? Trade. Trade.
Are you asking or telling?
Wondering, do you exchange goods and services? How does your economy work?
We pay for things with a currency called credits. Abstract wealth.
The cat offered gifts, made odd bargains, never traded. What are your credits worth? What can we do with them?
You pay them to us for whatever we're selling.
Now we cut open the heart. And what do you offer?
I don't know. What do you want?
Your ship?
Not for sale.
Worth a try.
Is there something else I can do for you?
Yes. Call me Soka. I run cargo between Aya and other worlds. Good work. Good at it. You're here to help my people. Prove it. I need help. One of my suppliers off-world stopped checking in. Has things I need. There could be trouble.
Why are you asking me?
What makes you think I can help?
You found Aya, maybe you found my supplier. Can't hurt to ask.
Sure, we can help.
You're one of few people here willing to give me a chance. I'll take it.
You have a ship? I have my supplier's nav point. His name is Keldo. Find him, his supplies. Come back and prove you're helpful. Then maybe we trade.
Okay.
Be careful out there.
No, I will.
Ryder, ship's fixed up and ready to fly.
Don't kill yourself bringing her home.
I mean, it's definitely interesting.
It's you. I was hoping to get a chance to speak with you. You left your home to cross dark space. Is it true you can never go back?
Yeah. This is home now.
To take such a risk and give up your old life, why did you do it?
I
Adventure.
couldn't resist the adventure of a lifetime.
I know the feeling. There's a rush in taking a chance and hoping for the best.
My turn for a question. Do I get to know your name?
Oh, of course. I'm Avela Kajar, curator for the Repository of History. We study relics of our past, try to piece together what we lost in the Scourge. And the truth is, there was something I wanted to talk to you about. Pathfinder, how much do you know about our history?
What the one thing that you kind of that bothers me a little bit is you got some guys that just don't talk in our language at all. Then you've got other guys that immediately jump into we're talking in English. There's never been any talk of like universal translators like they do in Star Trek. And we only learned about the Ket as somebody on Eos, a human, talked about it. So what we call the Ket doesn't necessarily mean that that's what these guys call it. It's like there's some inconsistencies around communication and word usage that's just kind of like, I'm not entirely sure. But this was the game. This was the game that they pulled developers off of to build Anthem, if I remember correctly.
I still have a lot to learn.
Centuries ago, the Scourge targeted my people. Our ships were the first to go dark. Many of those ships went down over Havarl. The wilds of that planet are filled with history. A scientist on Havarl just contacted me with a new nav point of an intact crash site. A huge opportunity. But with Remnant patrolling the area, we can't get close enough. Not like you can.
How do you know about me and the Remnant?
I have friends in the Resistance. They heard your conversation with Ephra. I know it's a lot to ask, but you have a ship and the means to get past the Remnant. Without your help, I'm stuck.
So here's the other thing. Phoebe started calling it Remnant because that was just kind of what she called it, the leftovers of that which was before. Why are they calling it Remnant?
I don't think Ephra would be too happy with this arrangement.
Ephra doesn't have to know. And if he finds out, he can direct his anger at me.
It takes guts to stand up to him.
I'd face worse to get a piece of our history back.
You're trusting your history with an outsider?
I know what people say about you, but I don't agree. I think you're here to help.
I am.
Now's your chance to prove it. You want to earn Aya's respect, right? Recovering our past will go a long way.
Okay, we'll do it.
I've always wanted to give archaeology a try.
Oh, I was hoping you'd say that. If you find anything, I'll be here. Thank you, Pathfinder.
I got points. Holy crap. Way left. Confirm, thank you. Just gonna automatically level everybody up. Pulled from it for Anthem. People are already talking about you. Right, that's what I mean. Like, okay, we haven't been here that long, and we're already kind of making the rounds. Like, what the hell? Anybody, any place else that we can go here? I'm thinking not. Oh, hello. Hold on.
Assist you, Pathfinder.
Are you now?
I am Enro Bosan, assistant to Governor Paran Shai. You're free to explore this area, but the city is off limits. Until that changes, I'll be your liaison. How may I help you, Pathfinder?
So, how many Angaran worlds are out there?
What can you tell me about your other worlds?
Life on them is hard, the people harder. Every day is a struggle to survive.
Why not bring everyone here?
We will not abandon any more worlds to the Ket, and Aya cannot support all of us.
When am I allowed to visit the city again?
That's not for me to decide.
Who will? Your boss? Or Ephra?
Governor Shai has jurisdiction over Aya. She will authorize your entrance if you earn Ephra's trust.
If?
You spoke with Soka and Avela. Help them, and you may help yourself. The Ket swayed us with words. Now we judge outsiders by their actions.
So tell me about Jal.
Sounded like you and Jal know each other.
Our families are related.
You sound nothing alike.
We have multiple worlds. Our culture is complex.
I'd like to know more.
Earn our trust, and maybe you will.
Fair enough. They're really tight-lipped about everything, aren't they?
You don't just stand here waiting to answer my questions, right?
I assist the governor in all matters. While you're here, this is my priority.
Pretty far outside your normal job, huh?
I did not begin this day expecting to speak with it. You?
Nice save.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Thanks for your time, Enro.
Of course.
Alright, let's just take a poke around. I don't think there's anything else that realistically we can do.
What's their purpose? No, it's the idea. It's big. Looks
I'm scared.
Alright, well, I guess that's it. So you talked to 2 people? Cosma Man, how are ya? Yes, you made it. We've got about another 20-25 minutes.
Your ship is... We have nothing like it.
Wait till you see the inside.
It gets better?
Oh, yeah.
You ready to go?
Yes, we are.
I'll introduce you to the rest of my crew.
Oh, I hear ya. I hear ya. Hey, family and IRL stuff comes first. Absolutely. And that has always been the policy here. Always. You come back when you come back. You hang when you can hang.
I'm just saying, as far as first contact goes, at least that went better than the last one.
Only slightly.
Yeah, what happened? I wanted to look around.
And now we have another mouth to feed, whatever he eats.
Did the translators not work?
They work.
Let's play nice.
Come on, everyone. Can we just all please try to... just listen up?
Begging. Interesting strategy.
Ryder, we followed our best lead here, and now we don't even have that.
Jarl has offered to do what he can to help us access the vault on Aya.
How do we do that when we're leaving the planet it's on?
That's a fair point. Jarl?
Seriously?
Settle down. Ryder's right. There's an Angara right here. Let's hear from the new guy.
Apparently there are translators.
One day, about 80 years ago, the Archon and the Ket arrived in Helios, and the horror began.
They declared war?
Nothing so easy to define or fight.
The Ket kidnap Angara. Their people disappear without a trace. What if they were us?
Sure, I'll fight Ket all day long, but that's no plan.
I agree. We need to get into that vault, Ryder. Surprisingly, I'm with PB. Our own mission has to take priority.
We have a plan. Kind of. Pretty solid. Jarl?
The resistance is stretched thin. I was tasked with traveling to 2 of our worlds at our briefing this morning. And you'll accompany me.
Because?
Because then, Ephra will see you as trustworthy. You want that.
Jarl's told me about these 2 worlds, Havarl and Vol.
Before the Scourge disaster, Vold was a thriving planet of billions, a shining center of technology and life.
And now?
It's the center of our ground war against the Ket. Our resistance base is fighting Ket Command for control of the planet.
What about the other?
Havarl is the birthplace of the Angara. It's started to degrade, to become wild and dangerous. We suspect a remnant.
Now we're talking.
We've recently lost contact with our scientists.
Still don't get how any of this helps us.
I do. Help us, or rather help me, and I'll vouch for you, right? Because Jarl wants inside Aya's vault too.
Pathfinder, it's your call.
Yes, it is.
Don't know yet. Just be ready to go at a moment's notice. Got it?
You bet.
Jarl, give Callow the nav points for both planets. Let's do this.
It just me, or has the quality come up? I mean, it's the same. I mean, it's the same for me. I mean, in what respect are we talking here, Kaz? Because, I mean, I'm playing it in 4K, so it's taking all of that 4K and it's squishing it down to what you see at 1080. I mean, a 4-to-1 reduction. Yes. Yes, I am.
Still compiling my first impressions. But even their body language is so emotional. I can't wait for my first session with Jarl.
Of course not.
Scare him away, huh?
So, Lexi, this is, she played, crap, I can't think of her name now. She was in, Game of Thrones. This was Marjorie Tyrell. This is, shit, I can't think of her name now. Fuck. I don't remember. I can't think of her name now.
Need something?
Nope. See you around, Doc.
I'll let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me.
Aya has so much biodiversity, and the waterfalls.
Just like Sirkesh.
Anomaly on sensors.
Oh, is there now?
Probe away. Tracking a
I
huge
can't think of
mineral
her.
deposit.
I can't think of her name. I'm gonna have to look it up now. I thought I remember the video game not being as good. I think that they have made fixes. You know, I mean, the game is old at this point. What's her name? Natalie Dormer. The doctor is Natalie Dormer. For the remainder and get ready for bed. All right, Lennox, have a good rest of your evening. Have a great rest of your work week, and I will talk to you again probably tomorrow.
Anomaly on sensors.
Oh, she is absolutely.
Probe away. Tracking a huge mineral deposit.
She is absolutely cute. She's the one that has the just slightly kind of crooked-ish smile. Oh yeah, daddy-like. She was in the Hunger Games too, in the second or third one.
Probes launched.
She was the reporter person.
Detected.
And apparently I can't skip this one. Okay. So, Cosmo Man, what's the good word?
Our ancestors came from this system. From Havaru. It looks so small from here.
I'm picking up something. Deploying probe. Anomaly found.
Sit there and travel around the solar systems here. Pick up some stuff.
Anomaly on sensors. Probes launched. Anomaly found.
Anything else? No. Okay. You only get one, basically one ping per. Never watched the Hunger Games series? Okay. So right now, just to kind of bring you up to speed,
Anomaly
the
detected.
plan is
Probes
we're playing Mass Effect
Tracking a huge
until
mineral deposit.
until February 18th. No, I'm not gonna go ahead and crucify you. If you don't see it, you don't see it. February 18th, then we start with Horizon Forbidden West. But it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to try and start something new or try to do two different things, so we're just going to do this. Well, I haven't gone mad yet. Got a fan back from the hospital. Now outpatient dialysis. She's wheelchair bound. We have steps at the house, so it's always a blast. Ugh. Yes. February 18th, baby. That's right. On the Yuffie 2K doorbell I bought on Prime Week. How did that go? Kick the old ring to the curb. Absolutely not. 50% max shields, 50% max health. Hell no. Let's bring Drac 2.
Sending the
What was
nav
it?
point for Darpalev. That's where the Mosha's team should be.
What was it? I installed a Nest Home one for my mom.
There'll be landing pads and good sightlines for a safe approach.
Anomaly on the sensors. Something big, possibly hostile, taking evasive action.
Wait, I don't think his...
They're things. It's Zerg.
Well, that's something you don't see back home.
Bringing us in.
Flying from the garage when they started also apart. Pretty simple quality notification speed. Yeah, we got last year got Mom one of those the Nest doorbells because the one thing I didn't like about it is because of the way some of the way that they kind of put stuff together, I had to actually hollow out a little bit of the door jamb so I could actually fit some of the wiring back in it. It didn't help that when they wired it, they didn't leave a whole lot of rope to be able to work on it. But now that it's in and it's not going anywhere, that's fine. And then around Thanksgiving, she got, because it was on sale, we ended up with one of the Google Home battery cameras, and we found a good spot for it. It's perfect, and we can just sit there, pop it off, charge it, and pop it back on, and it works perfectly. So I know that you were kind of going, check out this one. It's got the solar panel and all this other stuff. It ended up being more trouble than it was worth for starters. The other part was Google had them on sale, so we're like, fuck it, we'll just go for it. And that it all kind of works together in the whole kind of Google ecosystem. We did. It was easier that way.
None of these read. Jarl, what are you doing here, in the company of these people?
Kieran, this is Pathfinder Ryder, from a long way away. Ryder, Kieran Dowles, lead scientist at Dar Panev.
I just have to say, Havarl is beautiful.
The planet's beauty is the least of my current concerns.
Where's the rest of the team? Ryder has experience with Remnant. We might be able to help their investigations.
You haven't heard? While the team was exploring the monolith, something went terribly wrong. They were caught in some kind of remnant stasis field, frozen in place, unresponsive.
Let me help.
I know how to work remnant tech. I can help you.
Ryder has seen a vault and apparently reset it. Somehow.
Ocean of fish, one will have gems in its mouth. But if you think the alien can help, I'll set skepticism aside. The monolith is not far from here. See what you can do, but be careful. We don't know what triggered the stasis, and it may happen again.
I do that. You have a quest for me?
I heard the advisory that you'd be out here. It didn't prepare me to meet you.
The name's Ryder. I'm with the Andromeda Initiative.
They say you want to help us. I wonder what you're prepared to do.
Everything I can.
I'm ready to prove my people are good allies.
A strong statement that doesn't answer my question. My name is Rochelle Veer. I'm an archaeoastronomer. I study our ancient cultural records for stellar phenomena. I piece together lost knowledge of ages past. My goal is to find undiscovered colonies we lost contact with, potential allies against the Ket.
You think there might be Angara worlds you don't know about?
That's what I was trying to learn. Then this happened. I was away when the disaster struck. I thought my home was destroyed, and all my research with it, but I just learned part of the building survived. I'm trying to recover my research data, but the wildlife won't let me near my old home.
What sort of wildlife are we talking here?
These house guests, I assume they're of the hungry variety?
The structure has become a breeding ground for insects and predators, too many to face alone.
Well, I want to help.
Your work is too important to lose. Let's get it back.
I'll provide my home's location. Just recover my research materials from the computer. I'll remain in contact with you by comm. Thank you for this.
Welcome.
Available. Emergency
Oh,
support
we got
for
another
gas
one.
attacks. What?
Are you okay?
Is everything all right? You seem distressed.
Would you like a reward for that astute observation?
Hey, don't be an ass.
You're that alien visitor that came to Aya asking about our vault.
You've heard of me.
Who hasn't? When strange new species turn up, reports spread fast. After the Ket, you can't be too careful. Luge Anson, historian with the Repository of History, Aya. Listen, if there's nothing you need, could you go away? I'm busy trying to get transport off this cursed planet.
Why is this cursed?
Why did you come here from Aya?
Kieran's team found some remnant relics while digging around the old ruins. I was sent to collect them for the repository. It shouldn't have taken more than a day. But things never go according to schedule, do they?
Nope. But tell me about the remnant ruins.
You mentioned remnant ruins. Are there lots of remnant here?
Yes. If you've been out in the jungle, you might have seen some of it. We think the ruins were part of a vast remnant complex. We've seen evidence of hallways that wound through the area, both above and below the ground. Generations ago, our people took shelter in what we found here. That's how Palev was established.
Were there no hostile remnant machines?
None, according to the histories. We found artifacts, of course. Bits of things that we could study. But they say it was like moving into an empty home.
So, again, why do you consider Havarl? Debating on food? Never debate on food, just go get food.
You don't seem to like Havarl very much.
Havarl's other regions suit me just fine, but here... Oh no. I don't do well in this fierce wilderness. You think these shelters keep you safe? They don't. Woke up this morning and found a thorny vine wormed its way into my bunk. I'm stranded here because a branch pierced my shuttle's power core.
Okay. That sucks.
I won't bother you further.
Very well. Watch out for plants while you're out there. Vicious things.
Give me everything. So he just seems like just a real ray of sunshine, doesn't he? Holiday New Year's. It was uneventful, which was kind of nice. Holiday was good. New Year's was, I got kind of hammered. So it was good all the way around. Aside from our tech project, everything went swimmingly.
Activating automated forward station deployment.
debating on where. Yes, bedtime reminder. I know. We won't be staying. We won't be going for too much longer. Just me. It was the first one. I was like, okay, I'm gonna grab. It's New Year's. I'm grabbing a bottle of champagne. Fine, had that. I was feeling okay. Probably shouldn't have gone for bottle number 2. Ended up only finishing half of it. I am not the young man that I used to be. No, the other tech issue that you and I were talking about. Shit, what was I gonna say? Ended up just chilling and doing absolutely fuck all the following day. Because I'm like, you know what? I'm old now. I can't do this shit anymore. I'm just waiting for something to... respectable, but...
Watch out for Okar and Garen fanatics that hate aliens. That means you. Charming.
I hear something angry.
I detect an Andromeda plant sample nearby. Dr. Camden would find this useful.
Oh, right. The gardener.
Botanist, Pathfinder.
something about fish and gems to me. What was that all about?
In an ocean of fish, one will have gems in its mouth. Meaning your success with Remnant is probability, not skill. As the number of cases approaches infinity, the unlikeliest outcomes become likely.
Oh. Thought it might have been something like that.
Other tech issue. The one that I had to get the replacement for, the replacement parts
around
for.
the native flora, okay, everyone?
If you get any fungal slime on your skin, I suggest you wash it off immediately.
Get ready to fight!
Oh, I like that gun. Gotcha. Long way away, but I gotcha. No, I didn't want to do that. Yeah, I already got the replacement part. It came in. I just haven't had an opportunity to play with it yet. Because I need some uninterrupted quiet time. Just bought the entire heatsink. Was just done with it. Just sat there and said, it was somebody that they water cooled it. And I said, I will take that. And he goes, okay.
Found them. The researchers caught in the stasis field. Exactly where Kieran said they would be.
Oh, hell's bells.
Looks like it isn't filled in yet. Wonder if I'd get anything on the scanner.
They make you play Sudoku in this game. Yes, very uninterrupted quiet time. I'm thinking maybe Martin Luther King Day because I'm off from work. The only downside is that the boys are also off from work or off from school that day. Oh, there it is.
You should now be able to interface, Pathfinder.
You're telling me. Okay. Nothing, but it just requires you to do it, that's all. That one doesn't work. Because it takes up time. So we're looking this shit up. I don't care. Because we're... it's time for bed. Oh god, some of these get to be big. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 5s. Fuck that. That one right. There we go.
Reading of the monitors and... Scatting stars.
I have to do it on the kitchen table. It's the only place that I've got that's big enough for the entire, to be able to do it all.
Thanks isn't necessary. Just doing my job.
More aliens? Out of nowhere? And Zhao? Do none of you remember getting frozen? Frozen? I don't understand. We were just working on the monolith and then you appeared.
You should return to Palev. Kieran will want to speak to you.
Maybe you're right. Oh, I feel a head splitter coming on. We should make sure they return to the station. Who knows what lingering effects they might suffer from. This Sam of yours, in your head, how is it allowing you to interface with the Remnant?
Sam helps with analysis and translation, among other things. It's complicated.
Who's shooting at stuff? But as I said, so long as if I wanted the quickest and easiest thing is to just sit there and swap one card into the new cooler and be done with it. The next step up with that would be to sit there and try to take the heatsink out so that I could save that gold section of it and change that out. Which I'm not opposed to doing, but it just requires me to be able to, it just requires some time and an extra set of hands or two. Either chat's really slow, or this is just being stupid, because realistically, it should be... fast travel. Yeah, I have to be on the kitchen table. It's the only place that's big enough that I can kind of spread everything out. Which is fine. Which is fine. They'll be good. They'll just stay the hell out of the way. And now that I know what to watch out for, it won't happen again.
You don't feel any different?
I don't think so. Why? Do you?
My mind feels clouded, but I don't know if I'm just tired. What do you mean, grey, spiky aliens? Ket?
No. These were different. We were doing a survey of the area and saw them before the freeze.
You mean Turians? You saw Turians?
Why don't you and Torvar talk about that later? Right now, I want to thank you for saving my team.
You weren't lying. Kieran told us everything. She even had pictures.
I apologize for the indifferent welcome you received from me earlier.
Don't worry about it. You had no reason to trust me. The last aliens you met were Ket.
Ryder, what you have done here, your remnant understanding and your Sam should convince Ephra you're an asset. We should speak to him as soon as we can. Perhaps on the Tempest? Kieran, I've been thinking. If Ryder can use remnants, couldn't we fix the monoliths? Stop Haval's decline?
Havarl's decline?
This will take time to explain. We can discuss it further when you have time. And don't forget to talk to Torvar about those. What did you call them? Turians?
Okay. Second time, can't get fooled again. No, not gonna get fooled again. All right, so this is a good point for us to actually stop, because we are kind of in between spots. You know, we're not necessarily going to be doing any more questing tonight. It's a good place to just kind of sit there and go, okay, no